Welcome back to Systems from Scratch. This channel is focused on Docker Desktop for absolute beginners. We do everything visually, no command line, no coding, just learning Docker step by step. If you're new here and learning Docker Desktop, consider subscribing so you can follow along. In this video, we're going to explain the differences between Docker bind mounts and Docker volumes. We'll use Nginx as our example, and everything will be done using Docker Desktop. By the end of the video, you'll understand what each one does, when to use them, and how to manage your data safely. Containers are designed to be temporary. If you remove a container, anything stored inside it disappears. That's why Docker gives us ways to store data outside the container. Bind mounts and volumes solve this problem in different ways. A bind mount is when you connect a normal folder from your computer to a container. Docker does not manage this folder, you do. Think of it as sharing a folder with Docker. In a previous video, we set up Nginx using a bind mount. Instead of repeating all the steps here, let's quickly recap how that worked. We created a normal folder on our computer, then when creating an Nginx container, we mapped that folder to the folder inside the container, the user share Nginx HTML. That folder is where Nginx looks for website files. When we edited files on our computer, the website updated instantly. If you haven't watched that video yet, I recommend checking it out. There's a link above because it walks through the full setup step by step. Bind mounts give you direct control. Your files live on your computer, Docker just uses them. Now let's talk about Docker volumes. This is the option Docker recommends for most applications. A Docker volume is storage that Docker manages for you. You don't choose the folder location. Docker decides where the data lives and keeps it separate from the container. This makes volumes safer and more portable. Now open up Docker Desktop so we can proceed further. Now before creating another container, let's create the volume. Click the Volumes tab on the left hand side and then click Create a Volume. Now give it a name, something like Nginx volume, and click Create. Right now it's empty. It's just storage waiting to be used. Now let's create a new Nginx container. So go to Images. You would still have Nginx because that's what we did in our previous video, and just click Run. Open Optional Settings. Put a container name. I'm just going to call this one Nginx with volume. For the host port, we're going to use 8081. In the previous video, we already used port 8080. Only one container can use the same port at a time. So if we try to reuse 8080, Docker wouldn't allow it. Using 8081 lets us run the container alongside the previous one. Now for the volumes in the host path, instead of clicking the browse like we did for the bind mounts, we just type the name of the volume that we just created, which is Nginx -volume. And the container path, the path inside the container where we're pointing to, would be the same as what we had previously. This is the same location that we had on the bind mount, which is user share Nginx HTML. The environment variables we can leave blank, just like we did in our previous container, and then click Run. A second later, it will state that the configuration is complete and it's ready for startup. Now once a container starts, Nginx will store its website files inside the Docker volume. The container runs the app, the volume stores the data. So now that the container has been created, click the Containers tab to view both of the containers that we just created. The one in our previous video, which uses the bind mount, which is Nginx, which links up to this folder. And then we also have this Nginx, which is linked up to the volumes. If you click the following ports, 8080 and 8081, so localhost / 8080/8081, you'll see the following web pages for 8080 and 8081. Now you can see both of them are working. Now, to view the files inside a volume, all you need to do is click volumes, and then you'll see the volume name, and it is in use. So just click the volume and you'll be able to see the stored data that is inside it. You can download files from the volume to back them up. This copies the data to your computer. It's an easy way to protect your files. You can do that by right-clicking and save as. You can also delete files directly from the volume. Be careful though, this is permanent if you do that, and this is a great way to back up your data. If you click containers in use, it'll show you which containers are using this actual volume and where it's actually going to, so the same path that we added here. To upload files, you just need to go to this location in the actual container to change the file. So to do that, let's just go to containers, Nginx with a volume, click files. Now all we need to do is go to user, share, Nginx, HTML. So if you just scroll down to user, down to share, and just go down to Nginx, and then we'll have HTML. These are the HTML files that you have. You can open file in editor if you want to edit the HTML files here, or you can just import a file. Sometimes files don't work, but you can always import a folder. So here is a file I created earlier. It's a HTML folder which has an index file inside it. It is just a sample web page about penguins. So to do this, we just right click the Nginx, click import. As you can see, you can't see the files inside the HTML folder, but we'll just go back to desktop, click HTML, and select the folder. This is going to overwrite basically everything that's inside that HTML and keep things that is not there. So for example, the index.html has been overridden because in this HTML folder we have an index file. The 50x.html still stays there because we're not replacing that. So now that we've updated that, you should see a new web page for 8081 once you go onto it. This is 8080, which is the one we created previously with the bind mount over here, and this is the new one we just updated. So if we refresh this, now we can see a new web page. This is how we update the data within a volume. Here's the simplest way to remember the difference. Bind mounts are managed by you, volumes are managed by Docker. Now, bind mounts are best for learning and testing. Great for when you want to edit files directly. Volumes are best for stability. Ideal for long-term data, recommended for most real applications. Bind mounts give you control. Volumes give you safety. It's the same app, different purpose. If this video helped make Docker storage clearer, leave a like. Subscribe to Systems from Scratch for more Docker Desktop beginner videos. And if you're unsure which option to use, leave a comment. I'll help you out.